Greetings, everybody. It's Jim. Mothers are notorious for throwing old collectibles away. You hear stories of it all the time, and sometimes you just lose some nostalgia, but at the same time, then you hear stories of people losing maybe a small fortune. It's just heartbreaking, right? Now, mind you, I've already gone through this heartbreak in a way because I can tell you how many Moxes and Black Lotuses I've sold for under $20 in my life. It's insane. But one of the things is my mom actually works in a little bit in the opposite direction. She kind of keeps a lot of things. And basically, she found, not that I expected her to have anything of my gaming stuff, but she did find a small little box that I had these convention badges in. And it was pretty cool because it's kind of, because what happened is as you can see, 95 to 97, I had my store, Castle Archon, hence the name of this channel. And basically, I was going around the local circuit for demos for other game companies because it was just cool to be a representative and get, thrown around and get a hotel room and everything and go to a convention. So this myriad of badges you see here are just a small sample of the conventions that I went to around, 95 to 97-ish. I did a lot more than what you're seeing here, and I had a lot of fun, but I ended up getting burned out at the same time. I was just going to way too many of them. But basically, I just mainly did the ones around Erie, Pennsylvania, as much as I could. And Andover over Ohio. My favorite convention of all time is Origins, and now that I'm on the East Coast again, I plan on hitting Origins. And why is that my favorite? Because it's the biggest, the feel big, but yet small enough that you feel like you've connected with people and you'll see them again, and you don't necessarily have to be into the same kind of games. It's kind of like being at Brigham Young University in Idaho, actually, as opposed to Brigham Young University. Brigham Young University, basically, it's a real big college, and you're there for a major. You interact with only those people that are in your major. While BYU Idaho, it's in Rexburg, Idaho. It's this little island all to itself, and basically you have to travel like 20-30 miles to get anywhere and see another different house or something. And basically everybody's just a mix. You interact with everybody. I may be in the communications field, but I'm interacting with somebody in mathematics or whatever. It was kind of cool. But Origins is kind of like that same idea. Now, you definitely see on the right-hand side, lower right-hand side, that I have done my own conventions. ErieCon is a convention that me and my buddy Kevin Kilmeyer did back in, and it was actually before 97. It was like, I forget the exact year, but we came up with Erie's first gaming convention. And yes, those mullets are real. That's not a lie. And Kevin rest his soul and stuff. We really was proud of what we did. We collected like $2,000 of games to just give away. We called up every company. I mean, we were relentless. We really wanted to make this thing work, and it was about 300 people for our first convention. And of course, it waxed and waned, throughout the years and stuff like that. And we took hiatuses for whatever reasons. Then when I had my my game store again, it kind of came back up. So definitely have experience doing that. It was nerve-wracking, but when you're young and stuff like that, you got the free time, you want to do something else other than your normal job, and that was our out for that. And that's why we were really proud of that. But on the left-hand side is what I'm going to talk to you about in a little bit here, is all the badges about Cold Wars, Historicon. All these are part of the Historical Miniatures Gaming Society, HMGS, and they're having a convention basically on November 1st and 3rd, and I'm going to be there. It's called Fall In. It's one of their quarterly endeavors, and yes, it is for historical miniatures mainly. It's where mainly, I say mainly, okay, there's more, but basically it's where all these guys go where they can finally play their miniature games, except for against somebody else other than the small group that all war gamers know. You're in a small group, you got like maybe 8 gamers max that are in your area that play historical war games, and maybe even then 3 to 4 that are into your kind of history, right? Because you have Civil War buffs, you have World War II buffs, you got people that are in Napoleonics, and not everybody's into all the same thing. It's not a one catch-all thing, even though some gamers do play anything. But anyway, Fall In is a great little convention. It's one of those things that I like, even though Fall In, Cold Wars, Historicon, all of them do really feel the same. They just call them something different for every. It's almost like a pay-per-view for WWE. You're getting the same good stuff. It's just call it something different. But that way they can do it like every quarter, and I'm really grateful for them to do that. So Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I will be there. I haven't heard back from Ardwolf if he's going there because he's a Ohio guy, so I'm hoping he will be. But definitely, it was a lot of fun doing conventions, working for Iron Crown Enterprises. I was playing, of course, Silent Death at the time. Just teaching that, and that was a lot of fun. That was mainly what I did. One time I did get to go, I worked for a baseball company, and I don't think it's in existence anymore, called Donruss. And they had a baseball collectible card game, and they were trying to get into the market. All those guys wanted to get into the market because of Magic the Gathering. And I ended up being able to go to Las Vegas for the GAMA trade show, the Game Manufacturers Association. So that was actually pretty good. And they were flipping the bill for just about everything, man. We had a fun time on that. Slaughter at Syrian is the second book in the Harn World History novella series written by Maxwell Alexander Drake, and it's on Kickstarter right now, and we've put together another dollar-tempting teaser. Not only do you get the complete city, RPG city, it was 32 pages long, a 22 by 34-inch PDF map of Harn World, you also get the first act of Genesis of Oblivion. It's over 60,000 words. There's more to the story that you're going to want to see, but man, this will get you going. Okay, I'm on chapter 4 myself, and I like his writing style. It looks like he's having fun as much as he's wanting to entertain. It's really rich, and I like it a lot, and I suggest for $1, you check it out for yourself. So one of the things I'm looking forward to at Fallen is being able to play some games for once. I mean, at Gen Con, you'd think you would have the time, but you're talking to people all day about games, and then me, I'm going on my break. It's not really a break. I'm just kind of walking around. I'm getting out of the booth, but I'm walking around the entire dealer room, which ain't small, and I'm looking very closely for people that I can have as allies for product or marketing or both, right? Just like this year, I've got, I'm working with the guys at Chaosium and Iron Crown Enterprises for Rollmaster. A great fit when we go on to that. And of course, you see people along the way. Trevor Duvall from Me, Myself, and Die, the YouTube channel, he came over with us 2 years ago to share a little bit of our booth space, and he was promoting us as much as he was promoting his own channel because he loves the product. And you can go to his channel and find that all easy enough. But he also came to Gen Con to rub elbows with some of these other podcasters, and the next thing you know, this year, just opening up a few days ago on Kickstarter, he launched Broken Empires, the Sim Light RPG. So it's got a lot of the detail of combat without all the crunch is what he's promising, and it's made over $300,000 so far. If you like a juicy Kickstarter campaign, jump in on that one. I think you check the link down below and check it out for yourself. But also, I would see Steve Jackson there. He wasn't there this year, unfortunately, but it's always nice to see him. The artist Phil Folio. I mean, there's all kinds of people that you can see there in the industry, and it's just nice. And Tom Vassell, I actually ran into him, got a little Instagram goodie there. Not Instagram, TikTok. I did a little TikTok video with him. That was pretty cool. I'll play it even at the end of this video probably because it was nice. He's how people say, you look taller on TV. Tom's taller or I'm shorter. It's both. Fine. Okay. But either way, it's always nice to see people in this industry that you've only known from afar. So one more convention I should mention about, since I got introduced to it from Columbia Games, is PresCon in Charlottesville, Virginia. It's a beautiful little cozy con. It's got about 300 people plus showing up to that one consistently. And it's it was originally, I should say, he doesn't own it anymore, run by Justin Thompson of Julius Caesar fame, which is, of course, one of the top 50 war games of all time on Board Game Geek, and, of course, sold by Columbia Games. Go figure. Link is down below if you want to get on that action. But I mean, one of the things that Justin did is he had these winter nationals. He had the summer nationals and the winter nationals. All these trying to make these official big tournaments, and he'd have all these plaques on the wall. So it's like, and people really competed year round for these trophies, and it became a thing. That is a smart idea to get people coming back to your convention and not somebody else's, because some people only can go to 2 conventions a year, right? Now, mind you, this convention it's even bigger than Gen Con. I actually think it's 4 days, 5 days of gaming. I mean, it's almost as big as Gen Con, if not bigger. I mean, it's just a lot. And for the smaller group of people that are playing for that long, it's just crazy to a point. But I also liked it because it's definitely got an emphasis on wargaming in the certain side rooms, okay? In all the side rooms, it's all wargaming. Okay, and in the main room, it can be some wargaming, but it's definitely a lot more of everything. I mean, you can find anything in there. Role playing, not so much, but everything else, definitely. Now, as far as the guys that are running it now, I can't say how the format's going, but I'm sure people are still going there. Check out the link down below for PrezCon, and if you want to know what Justin Thompson's doing right now, he's a big poker player, and he spends a lot of time in Las Vegas, and now he's been doing the World Series of Board Gaming. So that's the thing that he does in Las Vegas. Now, I've thought of doing 2 different types of series of videos. One of them is about owning a game store, and another one is a series on running a game convention. Now, 25 years later, and of course things change, but for the series on owning a game store, I definitely could still offer anything like that, regardless if there's anything about the internet and how people buy games or who the big players of the industry is. There are still things that are still going to be that I still see today that people are making mistakes on. So I think I have some information there. But for a game convention, I don't know as much because there was a lot of guerrilla warfare going on. Like I said, me and Kevin, we were $50 in a phone. That's what we had, and we were just walking, taking the bus, making things happen, talking to the local Subway to try to get free subs for people as prizes. I mean, we did local as well as called everybody on the gaming list that we could. And then later on with Keith Reed and I, we changed it. We also expanded it to the first video game tournament in Erie, or convention, I should say, in Erie, Pennsylvania. There was already somebody at GameCore, which is one of my customers actually owns a business in Erie, Pennsylvania called GameCore. Does a lot of Magic the Gathering. Real good guy, and definitely knows his stuff. He went to the French. So he went to France for a world qualifier for Magic the Gathering. That was what I was trying to say. Now, he did a few game tournaments. He had actually a weekly tournament structure in his store. So we had the first convention, and which he was also a part of, by the way. And we did everything. We almost had Nintendo there. We went to Best Buy, and they had them sponsor us, and they gave us all the big screen TVs for a little while. It was pretty cool, but we definitely had to just shuffle feet and make it happen, which really is really winging it, quite honestly. And when you have the money that you have to spend for these nicer conventions, because you just can't have it at the local Ramada. That's where we used to do. We have this big convention center in Erie, Pennsylvania now, and it's got to be big because everybody's expecting that. So you got to meet those expectations. And it's beautiful. It's nice what they do. It ain't cheap, though, and you need a team to do something that big and try to get everybody in. And you also need the money to back it to start it up in the first place. You ain't starting something like that with $50. No way in heck. So hats off to them for it. I'm all happy about it, but I don't think that as much I could actually teach anything about conventions other than maybe run a game. But then again, that goes back to owning your own game store and teaching somebody how to play. Anyway, thanks for letting me rant a little bit today because I just found those badges and I thought it was cool. And I'm going to hit Fallen in about 2 weeks, so I hope to see you there. I hope to see Ardwolf from Ohio there too, but I'll see you otherwise next video.